The smart Baton Rouge business traveler travels out of Baton Rouge. Why? It's about not having to wake up hours earlier, fight traffic, and stand in long lines. It's also about BTR being closer, more convenient, with non-stops and short hops to anywhere your business takes you. Smart. So for your business, if it's about being one step ahead and not dead on your feet, then it's about time you flew BTR. Baton Rouge Metro Airport. It's about time.
This is Inside the Jaguar Nation, presented by Russell Law Firm.
Welcome to Inside the Jaguar Nation. I'm Aaron Lee, joined by Ashley Lyotis, and tonight, football is back. It is in the air. Thank God it is back on the bluff, Ashley.
I know, just for a little bit, Aaron. Don't get too high hopes here. Just a couple hours. The Jags are ready to get back at it in the SWAC, but they have some things to address. Head coach Dawson Odoms took advantage of spring ball to evaluate his team, and the spring game finished it all off. To the bluff we go. Head coach Dawson Odoms, a man on a mission. Austin Howard is out now, so we have a little quarterback battle. John Lambley looks to be that lead man. And well, any quarterback can look good when you have a running back like Devon Ben to dump it off to. Ben gets it in and does the rest to give the first teamers the score. Future Jags loving this one. How about Darquez Lee? Tyler Brown from Donaldsonville making the nice catch in the end zone. A lot of fireworks for the fans, but most of the work done earlier this week.
Went pretty quick because we had a really good scrimmage on Thursday as well, so we wanted this one to be under 100. We went over 100 and something plays on Thursday, so this one's probably right around 80. So it was good for those guys to get a chance to have some fans out here and family and be able to go out and compete. So I thought we achieved everything we wanted to.
While the Jaguars are in search of a quarterback, it's the entire offense that's getting a makeover. The Jaguars are looking to add the option with the athletic quarterbacks on the roster, and that would only give them more things they can throw at teams this season.
Explosive, no matter, what plays or offense we run is going to be explosive. As far as spread, getting the ball to our playmakers. It's interesting. That's the whole 3 weeks of spring ball was so interesting. But all of them battled, all of them did good. They did their pros and cons. But as far as, I think all of them got a chance to be a starting quarterback for, this year.
All right, so Aaron, you covered this team all of last year. What is your take on the Jags this season?
Ashley, it's all about finding new guys. Head coach Dawson Odoms lost a lot of seniors, as we know, but what's alarming is the holes he needs to fill are at key positions, including the most important, quarterback. Look, our very own Morgan Beard was at the spring game, and he brings us his take. Morgan, what you got for us?
Thanks, guys. So with spring football taking over Baton Rouge on Saturday, here's one thing that stands out. The team across town. Now, LSU, they seem to be forcing a quarterback battle on their end, whereas at Southern, it looks like a real battle. John Lampley seems to be the lead guy who can both throw and run. But Darquez Lee, he can do it too, and we saw that in the spring game. Both quarterbacks making plays through the air and with their legs. Head coach Dawson Odoms telling me after the game that he wants someone to make it obvious to him over the summer and in fall camp. He says those intra-squad scrimmages will be telling. And no matter the direction they go, big shoes to fill with Austin Howard on the way out, the senior leaving the team. But with talent like Kendall Catalan making plays in the receiving core, Devon Ben holding it down in that backfield, the job should be easy for any quarterback with that talent at Southern. We just have to see how it all plays out. Guys?
The human jukebox and the sweet sounds they bring us every week. Look, it's time for a break, and later in the show, Giving Over on the Bluff. Southern hosts its annual fundraiser.
And we have more on the spring game coming up. Morgan Beard goes one-on-one with funny man himself, head coach Dawson Odoms. Join us for more Inside the Jaguar Nation.
You're watching Inside the Jaguar Nation, presented by Russell Law Firm, with Brian Holland, Morgan Beard, Ashley Lyotis, and Aaron Lee.
Welcome back to Inside the Jaguar Nation. I'm Aaron Lee with Ashley Lyotis, and the spring game was here, and Coach Dawson Odoms got the first time to look at what this team looks like this season, Ashley.
Yeah, Aaron, he knows he has some tough decisions to make on offense and also on defense, but he was pretty pleased at the effort and competitiveness his team displayed. So, as we do every week, this week's Performer of the Week is not a player, but Coach Odoms.
The 2018 Southern Spring football game in the books. Morgan Beer joined alongside Southern head football coach Dawson Odoms. Coach, thanks for joining us.
Always a pleasure.
How you doing today?
Doing outstanding.
Hey, better now that the spring game is finally in the books. Different coaches have different philosophies. What are you looking to get out of the spring game this year?
I just think like every other coach, man, you want to be healthy. Really, we scrimmaged Thursday, so we had a good little scrimmage Thursday, and our guys had a light practice Friday. Then we just came out here and ran through some scenarios, tight scrimmage today. So really just looking at consistency and just seeing if guys in the right place, doing the right things, and mainly with your ones and twos. You know, once you get some down the line guys, they don't get as many reps in practice. You go get a few busts, but you're really looking for that first group and second group to really perform well. And I thought guys came out and were very competitive.
And speaking of competition, that quarterback position, you got John Lampley there. You have a couple other guys, Bubba, Darquez. Is that a full battle right now, or is one guy kind of separating themselves?
Well, I think it's going to be a full battle until really through the third preseason game, until a guy really take the bull by the horns and claim the position. But when you're going against each other, it's really hard for me to evaluate. I think once we get into live situations, you know, I think we're going to give guys a chance to play in our first game and see how they handle it. Whoever goes out there first, if they do a very good job, then, of course, you know, you look for them into the next game. But I really think that we got three non-conference games to start the season with that we can really experiment and look at some things and really try to get this football team put together, you know, once we get into the conference play.
We're excited. We know you are, too. Thanks for joining us here on Jag Nation, Coach.
Thank you.
Hey, appreciate it.
All right, we have some good news to report. We all remember wideout Randall Menard, who was a vital target for last season for Austin Howard. We all remember his gruesome injury he suffered tearing his fibula on the road at Alcorn State. Well, he's back with the team as he awaits a decision from the SWAC granting him a 5th year of eligibility. Here's Menard speaking with us for the first time since that injury.
It's been good. Like I got a rod and 4 screws in. I've been coming back good. Been doing rehab. It be sore sometimes, but I'm good though. Right now I feel like I'm at 90%. It feels good being able to run routes again, being able to run again, really. Because out of all my surgeries, this was my worst one. Like I was hesitant at first, but like being out here with the team, it feels great. Actually, it feels good being around them. With they good vibes, and they keep lifting me up, telling me I'm gonna be all right, I'm gonna get my year back. All it is just me staying in a good spirit.
Hey Ashley, it's always good to see him back, but you know who's always good every week? The Human Jukebox. Time for a break. Hey, an all-star returns to its old stuffing grounds. See who it is later in the show.
And Southern hosted those Grambling Tigers this week on the Diamond. We have all of the details coming up next. Stick around. We'll be right back.
This is Inside the Jaguar Nation, presented by Russell Law Firm.
Welcome back to Inside the Jaguar Nation. As we do every week, Aaron Lee lets us know what's going on around campus for the Jaguars. Aaron, what do you got for us this week?
All right, let's take a look at baseball. Hey, the Jaguars got a lot coming up. Tuesday, April 24th, they're against Nichols at home at 6 p.m. And then Wednesday, they're against Lamar at 6 p.m. as well. Now let's look at this weekend series. Friday, April 27th, against Prairie View at home again at 6 p.m. Then Saturday, they face them again at 2 p.m. And then they finish that off Sunday, April 29th at 1 p.m. Now let's move on to softball, who's closing out the season. Tuesday, they have a midweek game against Southeastern Louisiana in Hammond on the road at 5 p.m. Then they have a weekend series with those pesky Grambling State Tigers Friday, April 27th. That's at 3 p.m. And then they have a doubleheader on Saturday, April 28th against Grambling at 1 p.m. And then the second game will follow that at 3 p.m. Hey, Ashley, tell us about how the baseball did against those Tigers this weekend.
All right, Aaron, over there on the bluff, it's Jagathon weekend, and Southern legend Ricky Weeks was there showing support and throwing out that first pitch you saw there. But on to the rivalry, Grambling would strike first with one man on. Marshawn Taylor going to single to left. Tigers lead 1-0. Then Tigers still at bat. Rafael Ramirez going to pop up, and then Ace Fielder, what a baseball name, would score on the tag. Jags would fight back with 2 men on. Jacob Judge would drive in 2 runs to tie the game. but Grambling would add some late runs. The final of this one, 11-5, Grambling.
All right, let's look at some final results. It was a doubleheader yesterday due to the weather. So game 2, Grambling took that one 11-6. Southern lost in that one. But hey, they finished game 3 strong with a 1-0 victory. Now let's move on to softball. Softball was on the road at Texas Southern this past week. Hey, they dropped the first game 1-0, and then game 2, they lost that one 4-3, and then they won that game 3. Southern takes that one 7-6.
Good stuff, Aaron. We always bring you out with the sounds of the human jukebox right there. And then coming up later in the show, the Moose came out as Spring Fest. We'll give you a peek at exactly what you missed there.
All right, coming up next, the Jagathon hits the bluff. We'll be right back with more inside the Jaguar Nation.
This is Inside the Jaguar Nation, presented by Russell Law Firm.
Welcome back to Inside the Jaguar Nation. I'm Ashley Liotis alongside Aaron Lee. And the Jags had a little reunion last weekend.
Yeah, Ashley, it was a special weekend for Southern as they had their Jagathon. Hey, tell us all about it.
Yeah, it was kind of cool. Over the weekend, Southern University's Jagathon was hosted by SU Athletics in partnership with Cumulus Media. Now, the inaugural event is geared towards raising money for the school's athletic department. It began on Friday and ran throughout the course of the weekend. It featured a 12-hour radiothon aimed at generating funds from alumni, donors, and corporations. All the importance about coming back and donating.
Well, you know, this is our first annual Jagathon. You know, the conventional radiothon, we put Jagathon on the twist because it gives us a chance to invite all our alums, all our booster club, all our friends that support Jaguar Athletics to come out and help these student athletes raise the monies that we need to continue to fund scholarships, to continue to invest in the academics, to improve facilities, and to help our sports medicine area as well. So this is a holistic opportunity for our fans to give back.
And a Southern legend was on hand as well for the Jagathon. Ricky Weeks was back on the bluff encouraging people to give to the athletic department, in particular the baseball program that led to him playing 14 seasons in the major leagues for the Brewers, the Mariners, the Diamondbacks, and the Rays. He was an all-star in 2011 as well. At Southern, he played under legendary coach Roger Kadar, and he knows the importance of sports, what sports can have on a student.
Good, man. Like I said before, I think you a lot of times that people they forget that we got to raise money, and when you have to raise money, it's good for people like me or people like people who's been there, done that per se, to come back and to help out the program. So I'm glad to be here. My team's over there about to play the Grambling Tigers over there, so I just want to come back and try to support them and talk to them and try to give them some support. Oh, it's good. It's good. A lot of times, you forget how much time you spend away from certain institutions, especially like Southern, like I've been here. So to come back after 15 years now, so to come back, actually see the inner workings of the Southern Athletic Department and things like that. It always feels good, and to see old faces, old friends, and things like that. So it's just a good feeling. So I'm just happy to be back. Me, just because that's where I grew up at, pretty much. When you leave high school, you're a unfinished product. When you come here and experience the things that you experience from your freshman to your, my per se junior year, it's always good to come back and see the faces that change your life, and it's always good to come back and to give that back forward and show people else the way. It's good. It does feel good. Actually, believe it or not, this is my first time ever throwing our first pitch, so. I'm kind of eager to come out and do that. You got to make sure my arms are all oiled up and ready to go, and go ahead and do that. But yes, it is against Grambling, and obviously it's a big rivalry for us. And to come back, the baseball team, they're not doing the greatest, but at the same time, things can change. So I'm happy for the team to go out there and to work hard and try to get a winner for Southern.
From one all-star to an all-star band, and hey, Ashley, his arms were oiled up. I
can't
stood
believe
next to
that
him.
was his first time throwing out a first pitch.
Yeah, he was juiced out there. Hey, hey, coming up next, Springfest is here, and find out what artist was in town. Hint, I'm different, y'all. I'm different. We'll be right back.
This is Inside the Jaguar Nation, presented by Russell Law Firm.
Welcome back to Inside the Jaguar Nation. I'm Ashley Laotis. He is Aaron Lee, and it's almost time to go, but another big event happened at Southern this past weekend, Aaron.
Yeah, Ashley. Can you step? Did you pledge a sorority in college?
No.
How about, are you a fan of 2 Chainz?
All right, I'll give you that one.
Well, all that and more was displayed on the Bluff this weekend. It was Springfest in the Mini Dome on Friday, and the sororities and frats were out showing their stuff and their smooth routines. Now, this week-long event was headlined, man, 2 Chainz, who performed on Saturday. You know, it's a vibe, yeah, it's a vibe. So it's a lot of great fun stuff happening there on the Bluff.
I could never do that. I could not step, and I did not pledge a sorority, but that is talent right there.
Can't do none of that?
No, I can't do that.
All right, let's
Maybe
talk.
in different shoes, I don't know. But another big talent on the football field as well. We want to touch back on this quarterback battle over there on the Bluff. What have you seen out of this is a big quarterback battle.
Yeah, it's going to be crazy because you got John Lampley, who can run and throw, and he had a lot of experience last year playing behind Austin Howard, but you also have Bubba McDaniels, who kind of looks the part as far as body-wise, and he can throw the ball as well. So it's going to be interesting to see who fights this out. Now, Darquez Lee, he kind of has the most experience on this team as far as a quarterback, so I know it's going to be a tough decision, and we probably won't see a quarterback chosen to take that starting position until game 1, Ashley. So hopefully they can figure it out on the Bluff.
Do you think they're going to be missing Austin Howard?
Oh, most definitely, because when he was out there, the team just played differently. So whoever steps in that position, they need to have that same fire and tenacity that Austin brought each game.
In that leadership quality, quarterback has to be a leader. Sometimes maybe not the most verbal on the field, but definitely leading by example. So hopefully we get to see one of them step up soon.
All right, that's all we have for you for this week. Hey, we got the NFL Draft. We're wishing Danny Johnson good luck. Hey, join us next week for more Inside the Jaguar Nation. See you next time.